Good morning, fellow brewers. I'm doing another Homebrew Saturday. This time I'm making a sort of a Christmassy beer. It's called a Dark Star Festival beer recipe. Apparently the recipe is a chestnut golden coloured bitter, smooth sort of mouthfeel, freshness, sort of classic strong beer. Should get to around about sort of 5%, 5.1%, depending on how well we do today. And it's essentially comes from a sort of former great Sussex beer from King and Barnes, so it's a sort of recipe off them. And what it's made up of is its main malt is the Maris Otter. We've got about 4.6 kilos of Maris Otter. Then there's 438 grams of crystal malt and 68 grams of chocolate malt. We're using hops wise, we're using WGV hops, Challenger hops and Golding hops, and then obviously a normal sort of bitter yeast to finish it all off. So it should be quite a nice beer. Not made this one before. Arrangement is the same as normal. So I've got to the boil already. In fact, it's a little bit too hot, so I'm letting it cool down. So there's the boil down in there for the mashed water. My setup, as before, as you've probably seen, my hot liquor tank, cup of coffee, my pump. So it's my new Sparging pump that I bought last time and showed you, and then this is my mash tun. And I guess the new thing is I repainted the garage floor. I saw how messy it was, so this was the Franker's Apollo beer. I had a lot of problems with one of my King kegs. The King keg was leaking through the black tap you can see there, and then with this one I had problems with the seal inside the King keg actually not closing off when CO2 was injected inside it. So the beer's okay. I had to transfer it from one to the other, but the beer has survived. But probably not as good as it should have been, which is a real shame because it came out really nice in the bottles when I bottled some off. So that's a bit of a disappointment, but you live and learn. I certainly will stay with the corny keg. So here's the corny keg with the Mosaic IPA still inside it, and now you can see the other side of my setup here. And then the hot water tank here. So I think we are sat still at 80 degrees. So I'll pour it into the hot liquor tank, and then get ready to do the mash. The mash would be for approximately 60 minutes. So it's no, it's a 90-minute mash. Sorry, at 66 degrees. So hopefully I will get that all done and dusted. So I will shut this off now and you'll see the next. So no particular science in this. Let me pour some of the grain in. Again, mix it up with the water. This stage is just making sure that we don't get any dough balls created. I've already checked to make sure the tap's closed. Not that I've ever done that, but I'm sure at some point someone's done that. So you can see the water running out here. Straight into the mash tun. Put some more in. as most people say, it's like making porridge. Nice porridge. So these are the specialist malts. This is the chocolate malt. Still more Maricotta. And then I got the main Maricotta, which I'm going to go in. Of grain. So I'll stop it now, and I will put the rest of the grain. Next stage, I've got the boiler on again. I'm now making up 25 litres for sparging. So this is the challenging bit now, where obviously all the liquor goes into the sparge kettle, and then obviously I can then put it through the mash tun. So the mash tun is here. Our mash temperature. This reckons it's got to 64, so that's a bit on the low side. Maybe it'll be okay. Like it a little bit hotter than that. And going into the liquor itself, it's 60. See it. Unlock. So it's on the 64, 65 mark, so it's a bit on the low side, but next stage now is the sparge. So I'm just draining off the 25 litres of hot liquor, which I'll use to sparge in the mash tun. As you can see there, I'm draining it off. I got it to just over sort of 84 degrees. And it's quite hot, so I use a pair of workman's gloves to lift the thing along. So I just pan round. There's the burner, you can see there, and then I will go to the setup for the sparge once we have emptied out most of the liquor. So that'll be the next stage. So I'm just going to set the grain bed now. Set it off. See the sparge underway. Liquor coming out. And then what I will do is I will start the boiler now and start getting it up to temperature for the hop break, adding the hops, and then we'll be ready to put it into the fermenter and obviously make the beer. So we're getting to the point now where we're getting close to the boil and then hopefully the hop break. This is the point when I usually add in the hops, because if you add in the hops when it's actually physically boiling, it does tend to over boil. Now I've got about 27 litres in this kettle. I think I'm actually at the limit of this kettle pretty well right now. So it's touch and go if I boil over. So the first hops I'm going to put in is the Challenger. The second hops is the WGV. Right, we're starting to get a boil now. So it's a dangerous point. Chocolate hops is coming through, or it's boiling over a little bit. So this will boil now for 60 minutes, at which time obviously we will cut the boil off, put the Irish moss in, and also add the Challenger hops as well to bring out the hops flavour at the very end.